Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of Vampire the Requiem Louisville. I'm here tonight with one of my players, Robin. And in just 1 second, there we go. I will throw it over to her and let her tell you who her character is and what they do. So, Robin.
I'm Robin. I am playing Dee Dee. She is a vampire of the Invictus Covenant and Deva clan, and she has a YouTube cooking show that she does twice a week for a human audience.
And you did your show last
Hmm.
episode, so um, I don't think it's quite time for you to do the next one. Um, so we left off last time with you just getting home from the party, uh, a party that you were quite surprised about as far as the fact that you liked it as much as you did, where your sire slash roommate
Slash and.
slash aunt Marcie was just the opposite of that.
Yeah, she
She,
noped out of there pretty quick.
yeah, she stayed long enough to try, the refreshments and such, and would look around a couple times, and she was out of there. Uh, and when you got home before the two of you crashed for the day, you got a text from your favorite not so secret admirer uh, asking you how you liked the party, because he apparently had been lurking outside the party the entire time. Uh, Although he's not allowed to go into the party. But so your sunset alarm goes off the next evening, and um, so what do you do when that alarm goes off?
Well, I guess I'm gonna do what I do every evening and go down and have some blood because, breakfast's the most important meal of the day.
So you go down and have your cup of, or get your cup of blood even before you take a shower or anything.
Right.
Yeah. So you do that, and you see Marcie already sitting there with a cup of blood scrolling on her phone. As you're getting your blood out of the refrigerator, she turns to you and says, uh, a werewolf attacked a group of college kids last night.
Was it the same werewolf that the reporter got on video, or do you think it was a different one?
What I'm hearing from comments and such is they don't think it's the same one.
Well, shit, we may have a bigger werewolf problem than we thought we had then.
Yeah. Uh, hmm. It apparently attacked a group of uh, college kids heading the class, night class apparently, and
Any survivors, or was it like, massacre?
basically there there were 9 of them. 6 of them are dead and 3 are in the hospital.
Not good, huh? Werewolves are an issue.
Yeah.
Wonder
And
what's causing them to attack all of a sudden. I mean, they had to have been around here for a while, unless they're all brand new to Kentucky. But you wouldn't think so. I mean, what's suddenly causing them to just come out of the woodwork like that and attack people?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what we need to figure out, isn't it?
And the police are like, we got no clue. And we don't have the manpower or firepower to do much about this.
Like I said, they need to budget silver bullets for the police force now.
Well, this is happening too quickly. They're like, yeah, how do we mobilize for this? Uh, the chief of police suggested a possible curfew, but with college kids, I don't know how well that would go over.
Hell, shit, with humans, you don't know how well that's going to go
Um,
over.
yeah, so
I mean, for that matter, for us, that ain't going to go over too well either, considering nighttime is the only time we can be out and about.
that's true.
Curfews don't work too well for vampires.
The problem is humans don't know about us.
Well, the
So,
cops have got an idea now, considering there's 4 of them on the force.
well, oh, if the rest of the police department found out about the 4 of those guys, they'd go ballistic. Are you
Well,
kidding?
those 4 better keep their fangs to themselves when they're on the job. Then that's all I can
Yeah.
say.
Uh, they're gonna end up, the 4 of them are gonna end up getting most of these werewolf cases because the other cops on the force are gonna be like, nope, not going near the.
Well, that's probably a good thing. I mean, those 4 can probably handle the werewolves a little better,
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, they are pretty new, so don't really
yeah,
know, I guess. They're actually really new.
yeah.
I'm not even sure they've even figured out exactly, what they can do yet.
Oh, probably not. Yeah, that's what happens when, you get turned and you don't have any help.
Right.
um, Speaking of that, um, you hear your text on your phone go off.
I'll look at it.
It's Hanley. And the text says, "Did you see what happened?"
And I'll text back, yeah, looks like we've got a bigger werewolfish problem than we thought.
Um, how would you like to meet the Prince of Louisville?
Are we being requested by him to meet him?
Not per se. I'm having a meeting with him. I just thought I could bring you with me.
Well, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to, be acquainted with him in some way, I guess.
Okay. Um, Marcie's more than welcome to come if she would like.
For all I know, she already knows him, but
Yeah.
I'll mention it to her.
I should be at your place in about 30 minutes.
All right.
And you get this last text that goes, "You might want to dress up a tad. The Prince is a stickler for like protocol and stuff like that. So I wouldn't necessarily show up in jeans and a t-shirt."
Or in the leather show for the party.
Well, no. Well, that might give the Prince ideas that you don't necessarily want to give him now, do you? And that's the last text he sends. So what do you do with that?
Well, I'll tell Marcie that Haley wants to introduce us to the prince.
She says, "I met him in passing once, but that was quite a few years ago. Bef- Back before you were turned." I'm gonna roll and see if she actually wants to go with you or not. Actually, she says, "I have a couple of other errands I need to run. So you and Hanley can go meet him, and you can tell him that I said hello.
All right, I will.
I don't know that he will even remember me. Maybe, but sounds like right now he's got more important things on his mind.
Well, with the whole werewolf thing, I'm assuming that's something he's going to be taking care of.
Um,
We're trying to figure out. I don't know. I know the human police are in on that, but I mean,
yeah.
this is the
He,
kind of thing everybody should be working on, I think, because werewolves are running around. Not a good idea.
not really, no. But I'm sure the prince is trying to come up with some kind of plan.
But what I'm wondering is, you think the werewolf thing is just a danger to the humans, or you think they might start coming after us too? Because
Well,
yeah, we can defend ourselves a little better, maybe, but even so, I don't think I'm much of a match for the, chompy chomps of a werewolf.
uh, as long as they have easier food to get to, probably not.
Well, that's good.
We are, however, not friends as far as the two species are concerned.
I didn't even know there were that many of them in Kentucky. I knew there had to be a couple of them because hell, there's vampires, right?
Right. Oh, there are just as many werewolf clans as there are vampires.
Oh, so there's more wolfies than I thought.
They they just stay out of sight more. What is weird is that they're coming into the city all of a sudden.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Why are they suddenly like going at people? Because you'd think honestly, there's all those, fancy pants horse farmers around,
Mm,
around. You'd think horse ranches and shit. You'd think
yeah,
they'd be going for them. Horses are gotta be easier meal than the humans.
yeah, but I think part of them like the fact that humans scream and run away and such like that. You know,
That's true. I guess the thrill of the hunt. I can
yeah,
sort of understand that, I guess. It is
yeah.
kind of fun.
A horse standing there that doesn't even see you coming is sort of, it's
Well,
useful.
a good thing to train the puppies on, I guess.
It's useful when you don't have anything else, but um, so Marcie's like, okay, which one of us is jumping in the shower first?
Well, Hamley said he'd be here in half an hour, so I should probably get ready.
Okay, so you finish your cup of blood and you head into the shower. Um, and have you thought about what you're going to wear while meeting the prince?
Yeah, I've got a dress that'll work pretty nice.
Yeah, so you come out of the shower and Marcie standing in your bedroom doorway going, well, now we got a real problem. The mayor of Louisville just imposed a dawn to dusk or dusk to dawn curfew. That means unless you work nights, you can't be out.
Well, shit, that's not going to work for us.
Look, now we really have to avoid cops because they'll arrest you for breaking curfew.
No way we can make ourselves invisible, is there? Can vampires do that?
You can, but in game mechanics, you're not high enough up yet to do that.
Because that would come in handy if you want to avoid cops.
Yeah. And from the way the mayor was talking, people are panicking.
Well, one way to have him reverse that whole thing and change his mind, turn the mayor. Then, then suddenly his own curfew doesn't work so well for him. So,
Well, he probably doesn't follow curfew anyway. He's the mayor. He's gonna do whatever the hell he wants.
I
But
mean, Kentucky could do with a kindred mayor, couldn't it? I mean, wouldn't that be kind of beneficial, at least for us?
well, yeah, for us that would work out. Yeah. Suddenly, a large number of private blood banks pop up because the mayor's now a vampire. Yeah. But and to humans, massive confusion is like the mayor sends out an ordinance that every liquor store has to stock bottles of blood. And like, yeah,
Not to mention he's really hard to reach during the day all of a sudden.
right, yeah. His his lieutenant mayor suddenly has to do a bunch of stuff because the mayor's no longer available. Uh, I do, however, think you'd have to get the prince's permission.
Well, I was thinking we'd at least have to get our rep's permission, whose name just went totally out of my head.
Yeah. Uh, I would have to look it up in my notebook here. You mean Janice or Corvus?
Corvus, yeah, I was thinking of Corvus. He seems to be the main guy.
Yeah. Well, with the mayor, I think the prince would want to do that himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, hell, maybe I'll suggest it to him.
So, you move out into your bedroom and start getting dressed, and you hear Marcie getting in the shower. So, When you are completely dressed, what is Dee Dee wearing?
I've got one of a formal looking black dress. It's sort of velvety and off the shoulder,
Uh,
and black heels, of course.
ah,
I mean, not exactly the sort of thing you'd wear boots with. So.
well, no. So, and by, yeah, you just get completely dressed and walk back out of the living room. When you see from the window a black limousine pull up into the driveway, and you assume this is Hanley. And, um, and a blonde female in a chauffeur's uniform with a ponytail almost down to her butt. You see her get out of the driver's side of the car and walk to the back and open the door, and you see Hanley step out of the car. You see him start to walk up the walkway to your house. And pretty soon there's a knock on the door.
I'll open it.
And indeed, Hanley is standing there. Hello, Dee Dee. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty well.
Aside from all the woofy stuff,
Yeah, things are getting to be a mess.
literally.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you heard about the curfew a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's not going to do too good for us. I mean, that's just not going to work.
It's really gonna be bad for my strip club.
Well, yeah. You
Yeah.
got, hope you've got another means of making money.
Well, I have money, but I still don't want this to go on too long.
Oh, well, like I told Mars, best way to deal with that is to turn the mayor, and then, maybe he'll feel different about the curfew after that.
Uh, that high up in the city politics, that would be the prince's decision. I don't know if he wants to get that involved in politics in Louisville, because that would mess up everything structure wise. But yeah. Are you ready to go?
I am.
So he takes your hand and leads you out of your house and down the walkway to the driveway. And the lady in the chauffeur outfit is waiting by the back of the car. And she opens the door. And Hanley lets you climb in and then gets in beside you. And the lady closes the door and gets back into the car and you guys take off. Um, and Hanley tells you that the chauffeur is another one of my staff. Uh, her name is Julie, and I turned her in the mid-70s. So she's been a vampire for about 50 years now. Well, yeah, little over 50 years. The trip to the Princess um, compound is a little further than you would have thought. Uh, you end up going out of town by quite a ways, even out past where Hanley's estate is. Uh, and you get to a place that is basically surrounded on all sides by mountains. But there's this little bowl valley in the middle, and the only thing in that valley is this incredibly. This place makes Hanley's estate look small. Um, if it wasn't 2023, you would think you were driving up to a medieval castle.
Sounds about right for a vampire.
And you drive up the driveway and park off to the side. And Julie opens the door for the two of you. And you hear Hanley tell her that I, at this point, have no idea how long we'll be here. So, and the two of you walk up the path, up the steps, to a large wooden door. And Hanley knocks. And a couple minutes later, an elderly looking black man comes to the door. Hello, how can I help the two of you?
And I'll let Hanley do the talking.
And so Hanley tells the man that he has a scheduled meeting with the prince and that he decided to bring a guest. And the man bows and nods his head and leads the two of you into the foyer and closes the door. Um, and you look around and it literally does look like you walked into a, you know, 12th century castle. And after a few minutes of looking around and, you know, checking out all the art and all the other strange things hanging on the wall, a very tall, at least 7 feet, dark-haired, middle-aged looking man wa- walks up to the two of you. Says, "Hello, I'm, well, Hanley knows who I am, but as he has brought a guest today, um, my name is Caden Falk. I'm the prince slash head vampire of Louisville. And who might you be?"
Hi, I'm Donna, Donna Denver. You can call me Dee Dee. I hope it's all right that Hamley invited me along tonight.
"Oh, it's fine. He tells me you have a cooking show on the internet."
I do 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. I was a chef when I was alive. Haven't quite given that up yet, I guess.
I can see that. I must admit, though, I don't watch much internet. Fact, I really try to stay away from it. I have too many more important things to worry about.
Well, I can imagine that's especially true now with all the furry things running around.
Yes, furry things, to put it politely. Uh, uh, Hanley has told me that you have witnessed a few things that, uh, like you were in his club when he had to turn the 4 cops.
Yes, and I've had contact with those cops since as well.
Yeah. Mm.
Not to mention the vampire that caused all that issue in the club. He's a particular thorn in my side.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hanley's told me about him too. Mentioned something about his chef's uniform.
Yeah, with blood all up the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess it fits that he might watch your show. And you say he bothers you?
Yeah, he's something of a stalker. He's been texting me on my phone. I don't even know how he got my phone number, but he's been texting me on it.
Hmm. Eh, even in the vampire world, some people have nothing better to do. Well, what I wanted to have the meeting with Hanley about, excuse me, is Hanley running the type of club that he does has connections that most people don't have. And my idea, at least initially, is to see if Hanley can recruit a few gangrel to at least keep an eye on the werewolf issue. And the,
Gangrels, wouldn't you be wanting my cats? Aren't they the spy types?
yeah, but gangrels are more animalistic,
Uh,
therefore they're not by any means friendly with werewolves, but
a little hard to be.
yeah, but they can keep track of them without causing the werewolves to figure out that somebody's trying to track them.
Hmm.
Uh, and Hanley goes, I think I know a few. Uh, what if I contact them, what should I tell them you're offering for their services? The prince sighs and rubs his beard. Oh, but it's always about money or something like that. Um, tell them that they will be put on my payroll for as long as is necessary, and they will be um, compensated just like any other business retainer of mine. And tell them they need to decide quickly because this is getting messier by the day. And Hanley nods. And now the prince turns to you and goes, we definitely have to do something about your friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure what, but I mean, I know he killed a couple of college girls the other night. So,
I
well, saw him do it.
I heard about that.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, it kind of helped. Marcing me out a little because he sort of saw us with those new cops, the ones that are just turned, kind of saw us giving them blood. So they were
Yeah.
going to be an issue. So, I mean, kind of did us a favor there, to be honest. I mean, we would have
Yeah.
had to do it ourselves if he hadn't.
That's true. But we don't need him getting any unfortunate media coverage.
No, we don't need him bugging strippers either, like he was doing at Hanley's Club.
Well, that's also part of the unfortunate media coverage I was talking about.
Well, and for all I know, he's the one that vandalized my house a little while ago. Pretty sure it was him, actually.
Um, the prince thinks for a second and goes, when he contacts you next, um, show the text to your rep. Um, actually, show the text to your diva rep, and uh, she can copy it, and we can try and trace where it came from.
All right, I can do that. So should I forward it to her next time it texts me then? Or-
Yeah.
All right.
Uh, in fact, from now on, forward any text that he sent you to her.
Do I need to give her a heads up to let her know I'm going to be doing that?
No, I'll call one myself.
All right.
That way we can set up whatever equipment is necessary for her to try and trace it. Because with the werewolf problem, we don't need this guy running amok, you know.
No, that's just one problem too many. Good thing though is I don't think I don't think he's in league with the werewolves. I mean, he might be, but I don't think so. So things might be worse if he was.
You're
I mean, he's a
very,
vampire, so probably not.
you're very seldom gonna ever see a vampire working with werewolves.
Right. Well, that's what I was. I wouldn't work with them myself. I can tell you that. Of course, I wouldn't have done when I was a human either.
Well, I don't know of a human that would have.
I think werewolves are just best avoided altogether.
Yeah.
Which is a little hard right now considering they're running around killing people right and left.
Well, it would have been much better if they had stayed out in the woods where they came from, which makes me wonder what it is that brought them into the city to begin with. There's got to be something here that they're after.
Well, yeah, if we figure that out, maybe we'll be able to get rid of them.
Because honestly, they don't like all the press any more than we do. So there's got to be something fairly important for them to act like they're acting. Well, sorry to cut this meeting short, but I have a phone call with the prince of another city that I have to get to. Like I said, you don't have to tell your rep anything because I'll do that for you.
All right.
And
So I'll just forward any messages he sends to me to her.
yeah, and he turns to Hanley and says, um, I would like to have you uh, talk to your gangrel associates as soon as possible because I want to know where these werewolves are, what they're doing, and why they're doing it. So, Hanley nods and shakes the prince's hand, and then the prince turns to you and says, very nice to meet you. Uh,
You as well.
I'm sure with this going on, we will see each other again. And with that, uh, his butler walks into the room, and the prince nods and turns and walks out of the room. And you are escorted to the door. As you're walking out the door, you hear the elderly man say, I hope the two of you have a pleasant rest of your evening.
Me too.
And closes the door behind you. And the two of you walk down the path to the car, and you see Julie get out of the driver's side and walk back and open the rear door on the limousine. And the two of you climb in, and she shuts the door and the car takes off. So while you're heading back to be dropped off at your place, are you and Hanley having a discussion, or are you just sort of sitting there with each other, not saying anything? Or
Well, I'm just, I'll comment that I hope this whole thing gets cleared up pretty quick because, like I said, it just doesn't do to have werewolves running around killing people.
no? But I think the prince is correct. I think they're after something specific because they wouldn't wander into a large city otherwise.
Well, yeah, but it does. But from what I've seen on the footage and stuff, it doesn't look like they're looking for anything or anyone in particular. They're just running around killing people.
Yeah. But that might be a cover to get the police off of what they're actually looking for.
Well, that could be. I guess it depends on how many of them are actually here. I mean, they could have some that are running diversion, and while the rest are doing something else. But how do we
Right.
figure that out?
Well,
I mean,
hopefully,
I guess the prince told us how we figure that out. You have the gangrels trail them.
yeah, hopefully my gangrel associates can come up with that sort of information.
Well, as long as they don't get themselves killed when
Uh,
you're dealing with werewolves.
a gangrel and a werewolf are almost even, so it'd be a nasty fight for sure, but I don't think either one of them would come out of it very well. Hopefully that doesn't end up having to happen.
Yeah, that would just be a whole nother mess for the cops to deal with.
Yeah, that would not be a good thing for the city in general. Or me once they connected the gangrels to me. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it works out better than all that then.
Yep. Because we suddenly don't want the cops running amok.
We don't want all the cops on the force to just say fuck it and they all quit at once. That would be pretty bad.
Suddenly the only 4 cops on the force are the ones
Right.
for us, yeah. Now that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing,
They'd all wind up on vacation wherever wherever your poor bartender went off to.
yeah. Oh, by the way, haven't heard from him since.
I wouldn't expect to. It's like
He's probably hibernating somewhere.
he's probably in Tahiti.
Well, that's not a place I'm gonna go to find out. So, that warm island temperature and bright sun just doesn't.
Well, bright sun doesn't really work too well for us no matter where we are.
Yeah. So, that's not high on my vacation list, if you know what I mean. Um, so, have you recovered from the party?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty resilient. I'm a
Hmm,
vampire.
well, I wasn't sure just how much, uh, I won't say damage because it's not really damage. I guess it'd be classified under, bashing damage if you really wanted to do
Yeah,
it.
I was all healed up by this evening when I woke up.
Yeah,
It's fun though.
that's good. I saw you and Magnus were getting along fairly well.
Yeah, he's quite the gentleman.
Oh, so did you and your roommate Marcie have a conversation when you got home. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, she wanted to know what was up and all, but sort of, I guess. She, as you could tell, she wasn't into the whole thing herself.
That's too bad. But it happens.
Well, I mean, I didn't even know. I was gonna say it's not for everybody. I didn't even know it was for me, But
Mm.
I kind of a pleasant surprise.
Well, most vampires give it a try because they're like, oh, you can't hurt me now. So, so they're like, that's why they do other stupid shit too, like skydiving and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I could picture a brand new vampire with a bicycle up on a roof or something, trying to
Right, yeah.
ride ride a bicycle down a roof.
And there are idiots that once they find out that you can shoot them and they don't die, there are idiots that go around doing that too.
Well, it's
Which,
still gotta hurt like hell, though.
oh, it does. Uh,
Well, it's not something I'd want done.
and it takes a couple of days to actually heal that. So it's not advisable at the very least. One only wants to risk getting shot if there's something worth getting shot over.
Or if it can't be avoided for any reason.
Right, yeah. So, well,
I mean, I'm sure there's probably some dumb vampires who, go out and stand in the middle of the street and try to get themselves run over too.
yeah, that happens. That takes quite a while to heal.
I would think so, yeah. And it's not something I'd want to
De-
happen.
Depending on the size of the vehicle you got run over by, yeah.
Right.
But um, vampires are like human children. They've got to figure out their own crap for themselves.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure there's not a vampire around that hasn't done the whole, oh, I can eat human food thing.
Well, yeah, you do that initially because you don't think you're a vampire. And
Yeah, or yeah. Even though
that's,
I'm sure there's even a few that even after they do know they're a vampire, they still think they can get away with it.
well, it comes down to how much suffering you want to put yourself through. Um, if you're smart, one tries generally good. If you're not, yeah. But and some people are, as you might guess from your show, some people are addicted to their favorite foods and you know, won't give up on it until they absolutely have to.
Right. Well, I can also imagine I don't know how often this happens, honestly, but you're bulimic in life. Maybe that's not something you're giving up quite yet. That's something you're going to keep doing because that's a mental illness.
Yeah. Thing is, now that you're a vampire, that could go on forever because it's not going to kill you like it would a
Right.
human. So you could do that forever. Yeah, that's generally not a good idea.
Wouldn't surprise me if there was at least one, though. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there is somewhere. And there are even people working on synthetic blood.
Oh well, that might actually be a an asset to us.
I hear it tastes like cherry soda at this point.
Well, just as long as it doesn't taste like chicken, because everything's supposed to.
Well, no. From what I hear, this looks and tastes like cherry soda. I don't know if I'd be into that or not. It's not widely available yet. They're still working on it. They're trying to figure out what it is about blood that keeps us alive so they can put it in this stuff. So, but
Well, alive being used in the loosest term, of course,
well,
because
yes.
we're not really alive.
Well, I guess functioning would have been a better term to use. But I'm sure once some company perfects their recipe, as it were, that we'll all hear about it.
Not as long as it doesn't have a whole list of side effects like all those medications you see commercials for,
Well, yeah.
may cause death. Of course, it wouldn't matter too much, really. I've been there, done that.
Well, yeah. It, vampires would have a whole list of other side effects, like causes insomnia.
I was just gonna say sleeplessness. That would be a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Causes your fangs to fall out.
Oh.
Yeah, stuff like that.
No, don't want my fangs falling out.
Yeah,
Took me
finding
took me long enough to get used to them. Now I don't think I'd want to be without them.
finding a kindred dentist to replace them is not easy. Um, so how are you? How are you gonna handle your stalker friend from now on?
Well, I'm not gonna go looking for them. I can tell you that. And like was said, if they text me, I'll just forward it on to her name's at the tip of my tongue, Janice.
Yeah,
Hopefully he doesn't figure out I'm doing that, cause that probably get me in deep shit with him.
or he'd go after her, which probably wouldn't turn out well for either one of them.
I probably wouldn't turn out too well for him, honestly.
Um, they're both vampires. I just don't know what her skills are, but
And honestly, we don't know how new he is or how old he is. He could be a brand new vampire, and that could be why he's running around all crazy like he is.
yeah. Or it could be the opposite. Could be so old that his mind is gone now.
Does that happen?
Well, generally, if you're like really, really, really old, like 4 digits. Yeah,
Um,
sometimes.
I did not know vampires could get Alzheimer's. Never heard of that.
Well, well, not that it's Alzheimer's, but your sense of control goes. You suddenly don't see a reason not to go around, you know, feeding on whoever you feel like feeding on.
Well, that's not good.
Because when you're that old, you figure you're strong enough to handle just about anything. So,
Well, honestly, you probably are, but that
yeah.
does might doesn't make right.
Well, you don't. And when, on the occasion that this happens, your whole idea of what's right and wrong goes out the window. There basically is no wrong at that point. So, yeah.
Oh gosh. So above game, does that mean you have like a humanity of like one or negative something?
Yeah. It happens when your humanity gets to like 3 or below.
Hmm.
You, you, you just don't care about human society anymore. And they truly do become cattle and clothing as far as you're
Well,
concerned.
that sounds like a big kind of miserable, to be honest. But
Yeah. And luckily it doesn't happen too often, although it might have happened to this one.
well, I guess we won't really know anything about him unless we can get him in custody somehow, and I'm not sure how we're going to do that.
Well, hopefully, with some of your text messages, they can trace them and find out where he is and who he is, and then we can go from there.
Now, what I didn't ask the prince, and maybe I should have, or maybe you can answer me this, is now, as well as forwarding his message, should I like refrain from replying to him, or should I keep replying, or what should I do about that?
You should keep going as you have been, because any change in that patterns might alert him to something going on.
All right,
So
that makes
just
sense.
just keep going the way you've been going. And if he suddenly stops texting you,
Then shall I let Janice know that too?
yeah.
All right.
Um, oh, by the way, just so you know, uh, Magnus paid for your membership into our little club.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? That was
yeah.
nice of him. I guess he wants. I guess he wants to keep me around. To be my guess.
Mm. Uh, maybe. Apparently, the two of you had a considerable amount of fun at the last party.
We did.
Mm. And you have to. You got the form that I send out to everybody, but I know you well enough at this point that it's not an issue. I somehow don't think you're gonna do anything that would cause problems for the group.
Don't have
Just,
any intention of doing that. No.
just don't go announcing the group on your YouTube show and we'll be
No, of
good.
course. Well, of course not. I don't really say anything about that. The whole, what I am on my YouTube.
Yeah, but at about this point in the conversation, the the car pulls up in your driveway, and Julie hops out of the driver's side and comes over and opens the door, and the two of you climb out. Um, give me a um, where, give me a wits and intelligence roll.
Okay. That is 2 successes. One of them's a 10. Okay, so 2 successes altogether.
That's enough for you to notice that the Porsche is not in the driveway or in the carport.
Well, Marce did say she had some errands to run.
The pickup truck is still there, but the Porsche is gone. So, well, and Hanley walks you up to the door and says, with what's going on, I'm sure we will be in regular contact, and you, from now on, you are invited to all monthly parties at my place. So, if nothing else, we'll see each other then. But
Right. Now, do you want me to keep you in the loop too? You want me to forward any messages from this guy onto you as well as onto Janice?
uh, that's not necessary. Uh, if there comes a point where we need to talk about it, we can just have a conversation.
All right.
But I'm going to go contact my gangrel associates and hopefully be able to set that up. So, and with that, he nods toward you and turns around and walks out the door. So, you are currently in your house by yourself. What do you want to do?
Well, I guess I'll go get a cup of blood and I'll go through some of my cookbooks and look for recipes to figure out what I want to do for my next show.
Because once you decide, you have to get all the necessary stuff for that. And so you head to the fridge and get a mug of blood, and you notice that things are getting a little low. You're gonna have to get more in a week or two, or in a day or two. As you set the cup of blood on the kitchen table, you see a note there. Do you pick it up? Or
Yeah, I'll pick it up and read it.
it's from Marcie. It says, Dee Dee, the errands I have to run will keep me out until tomorrow evening. Um, I'll let you know how things go when I get back. But um,
So I'm sort of seriously wondering what's going on at this point because that seems a little strange.
yeah,
So I'm gonna call her on her cell phone.
you call, but don't get an answer.
Well, I'm gonna wait till the answer her, voicemail picks up, and I'm gonna leave her a message saying, "Hey, give me a call. I want to know what's going on. Like, want to know where you're at and everything, and make sure you got a place to stay and safe from the sunlight and all. So
Yeah,
when you get my message, give me a call, okay?"
you're able to leave that. You figure she's probably driving, so she just didn't answer the phone. 'Cause you don't drive a sports car like that. And then, while you're doing it, be like, I need to answer the phone.
Plus, she was a lawyer when she was alive, so she probably knows better than to do all that.
One would hope, yeah. So, you start going through your cookbooks looking for recipes. Did you put did you put anything in crafts?
Yes, with the three dots.
Okay. Give me a crafts roll to see if you can come up with a recipe for your next show.
Apparently not, because I did not get any successes, but I did get a 1. So that was, I botched on that.
You're so worried about what Marcie's up to that you couldn't even concentrate on coming up with a recipe.
Well, I've got time. I'll take a look later.
Yeah. Yeah. So, given that that's on hold, what are you gonna do for the rest of the night?
Well, I guess, in the light of the whole werewolf thing, I ought to turn on the news and see if there's any coverage of that. See if I can find out anything more about it.
So, you turn on the TV, you turn to the local news channel.
Oh, it's not food time yet. Half an hour. Half an hour, buddy.
And so, and when you do turn to the news channel, um, there's apparently been a vigil set up on campus. I'm sure Louisville has a college campus. I'm just not
I would
familiar.
assume so.
I'm just not familiar with what it is. Probably the University of Kentucky or something like that. Um, but there's been a vigil set up for the uh, college kids that were attacked earlier, and the newscaster says that now all 9 of the students have died. The 3
Also,
that,
the 3 that were in the hospital kicked off too.
yeah, they weren't able to save them ultimately.
Well, that's too bad.
So then it cuts to a press conference by the police chief who says, "We are going to vigilantly enforce this curfew because um, we don't want any more of our citizens getting attacked by whatever these things are."
Whatever these things are, can't he just say the word werewolf? I mean, it's kind of obvious that that's what these things are at this point.
Apparently, he still hasn't accepted that theory. And he's also forgotten the fact that the first attack was in the middle of daylight. In fact, in fact,
Oh,
the
yeah, I'd kind of forgotten that myself.
in fact, the attack where the cop died was like 2 in the afternoon.
So the
So
curfew ain't really going to do any good.
no, not really. He hasn't realized that yet.
Although, honestly, the curfew might do some good as far as our little fanged friend goes.
That's possible.
Because he seems to be making a nuisance of himself in the whole human slaughtering way as well.
Uh, he's actually quite happy that he's using the whole werewolf thing as cover. Because if they're all stressed out about the werewolf thing, they're not chasing him.
Right, but with the curfew, he's going to have quite a few less victims to pick from.
Yeah. Although he doesn't know that the prince is
Looking for him.
right, yeah. So,
Well, Prince has some questions for him, I'm sure.
yeah, he has no idea that that's coming as of yet. Um, let's see. In fact, about that time, you get a text on your phone.
I'll look at it. Hopefully it's Marcie.
Um, actually, you get 2 texts on your phone. The first one is Marcie. Um, and her text says, just taking care of some family business that popped up. Um, I have a place to stay. Uh, I'm not the only vampire in my family.
Well,
So,
obviously I'm in her family.
well, she means family, as
Oh,
in,
and
like,
I know my mom's a vampire. Just found that out recently too. Man,
yeah,
the whole thing is.
so, uh, so I will be fine until I get back, probably sometime later tomorrow night. Uh, and that's where the text ends. The second text is indeed from your favorite groupie. And initially, he's like, uh, I see Marcie's out somewhere. So that means you're home by yourself.
So I'll reply, yes. What's that to you? And then I'll forward his message to
Well,
Janice.
the other part of his message is a rant about this curfew thing. He's like seriously upset by this.
Well, I'll reply to that. I'll be like, well, yeah, it doesn't work really well for any kindred, does it?
He's like, I have my ways around it. I would be happier if it ends fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think we all would.
And, and the text ends, have a pleasant evening on your own.
So, thanks. And meanwhile, I'm forwarding all his messages to Janice.
Right, yeah. And just a few minutes after you finish doing that, you have a phone call.
I'll answer it.
Uh, hello, Dee Dee. It's Magnus.
Oh, hi. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Uh, I just wanted to call and make sure that that you healed okay from the party and that yeah, there weren't any major repercussions from it.
Oh no, I was all healed, no bruises or anything. And I sort of laugh and say, you have to try harder next time.
Well, the the first time, yeah, we were just getting to know each other. Next time I will take you up on your comment. Um,
Yeah, I can honestly say I'm looking forward to that.
how was your roommate after I dropped you off?
Oh, she seemed all right. I mean, she was kind of glad to get out of there, but she was all right. She didn't say anything to me about, disapproving or anything.
Well, that's good. I wouldn't want this to be a conflict between you and your roommate.
No, I don't think so. I think as long as I don't give her details, she's all right.
uh, I don't have to worry about that. My staff knows what I do. uh, uh, I've been following the news. It looks like you guys have a bit of a problem up there.
With the werewolves, yeah, that's seems to be a bit more of a problem than we thought it was. I mean, we knew they were around, but they seem to be attacking and killing more people recently.
Oh, that's not good.
No, not. I mean, having werewolves around at all isn't good, but when they're doing that shit, that's yeah, really not good. Especially for the poor humans they're attacking and killing.
This
Really
is
not good for them.
so. What is being done?
Oh, the prince is on it.
Uh, Figured he would. How are the cops reacting?
Well, they seem to be in denial, to be perfectly honest. They haven't said a word about it being werewolves. It's all whatever it is, and this, whatever it turns out to be, and all that sort of stuff. And they're in
Well,
denial about what it really is.
well, and I think they'll stay that way because their little human brains can't fathom such things.
Well, I mean, hell, they had to have heard that Warren Zevon song, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm sure that a lot of people go to werewolf movies. That doesn't necessarily mean they would react favorably if actual werewolves appeared. It's like,
Well, no one's going to act favorably if a werewolf's got his jaws around your ankle.
well, it's like, it's fine to be in music or movies or books or whatever, but when one is standing in front of you, that's a little bit of a different problem. Yeah.
But you think they'd at least be open minded to them there being such a thing out there.
No, humans aren't open minded at all.
Yeah, I guess I still give them too much credit.
They
Haven't been one for 20 years, and I still give them too much credit.
they can barely handle their own stuff. You start getting into stuff that's outside of their own stuff, and they really start to have problems. But uh, I seem to have seen something on the news about the mayor putting a curfew out.
Yeah, dusk to dawn thing. That is just that's gonna mess with our schedules. I can tell you that. I mean,
Uh,
considering we get pretty damn bad sunburn if we're out in the
yeah,
daytime.
Yeah, you could call it that. Uh, being a strip club owner, I bet Hanley's not real thrilled about that one either.
Not particularly, no. He's a little worried about it, hoping it gets reversed real soon. I keep telling people the way to deal with it is to make the mayor one of us. Then he'll maybe decide that the curfew isn't such a good idea.
Yeah, but with the mayor you have, he'd probably go crazy and attack the city council. And it'd just be a
Yeah,
bad.
well then they just get pick a new council.
It just end up being a bad thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and curfew isn't going to work anyway, considering that first werewolf attack was like 2, 3 in the afternoon around.
Yeah.
So how's a curfew going to help with that?
Not. Because the werewolf can just attack during the day.
Right.
The,
Well, maybe if that happens a few times, the mayor will decide that come to that conclusion that it's not helping, and he'll lift it.
well, possibly.
I mean,
But,
I'd hate for more humans to get werewolfed, but
yeah.
if that's what it takes.
Well, the problem is, well, for one thing, the daylight stuff is one of the advantages that werewolves have over vampires. And the worst thing that the mayor's not taking into account is that any person attacked by a werewolf and lives becomes one.
Right. Well, so far nobody's actually lived that I know of. But
Um,
and another thing that about the daytime thing that's sort of an advantage for them is I'm sure a lot of humans are under the false impression that werewolves can only do their wolfy thing on the full moon at night. So
right.
this whole attacking in the daytime is really taking them by surprise, I'm sure.
Well, that's what happens when you only believe in movies and shit. You know, like I'll bet you most humans still think that garlic and crosses will keep us away from them.
Oh, most of them do, and I kind of enjoy pretending to be freaked out by those things, with the whole oh thing,
Right? Yeah.
and I just sort of go, oh, never mind, and jump.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Well, you you having a cooking show should enlighten some people. It's like garlic is only used for food spices. It doesn't do much after that.
I mean, can you imagine me having a cooking show if I was freaked out by garlic?
Right? Yeah. You couldn't do. You couldn't do it.
All right, at least have to tell me, none of my recipes have garlic because I'm deathly allergic to it.
Right? Yeah. Your whole segment, your whole series on Italian food would be shot to hell. You
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't work at all.
know.
Can you
But
imagine how much that would piss the Italians off if I did Italian food with no garlic? Man, they would not have that.
what the poor people don't know is the Italian vampires just sort of laugh about the whole thing. It's like,
Right.
yeah, but
Well, yeah, they'd be in a whole lot of trouble if the girl.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah. It's like be almost as bad as if cheese did that. They'd really have a problem. uh, but just wanted to check and see if you were sufficiently recovered.
Oh, I am, and like I said, I'm looking forward next time actually.
Yeah, this curfew goes on too long. You should think about my offer to come down to New Orleans for a while.
I might do that. Of course, with the curfew, then I think the only flights I could get would be in the daytime, so I'm not sure how that would work.
Well, they don't, you know, they don't want people out on the street. That doesn't mean they shut down the airlines and all.
Well, I was thinking driving to the airport, I might get pulled over.
Well, yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't know how, like, taxi cabs and stuff would work as far as that, because,
Well, they'd probably be out of a job if they have to do the whole curfew thing too.
well, and there's people that work at night, so, they
Uh,
can't,
well, oh,
yeah.
well, he did say that aside from them, he did accept them, I think.
Well, I'm thinking, what if a nurse has to take a cab to work or something,
Right. Well, maybe there's an exception for the taxi cabs as
Yeah.
well.
So, and that would save you airport parking anyway.
Yeah, true.
But, yeah. So, anyway, uh, I have a business called The Mike Show. I'm gonna let you go, but
Well, thanks
uh,
for calling.
I too am looking forward to the next party. Maybe we'll see uh, how much you can take.
Well, that might be fun.
Not quite sure how that works with the vampire, but we'll find out.
I imagine I can take quite a lot at this point.
Well, I'm not really sure there is a ending point as far as that goes.
A limit.
Yeah, I'm really not sure there is one. Uh, but we can have fun seeing if that's the case.
Yeah, we can
Uh,
do some experimenting.
yeah.
Fun.
So, um, but I'm serious. If the curfew goes on for longer than a week, yeah, you are most definitely welcome to come stay at my place.
I might take you up on that because, a little hard for us with that whole curfew thing.
And you could do a whole, bring your laptop and do a whole series on New Orleans cooking.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, your cuisine down there is
So,
pretty damn good, so I could do that.
yeah. Uh, so, anyway, have a good rest of your night, and
You too.
we'll hopefully talk soon.
All right.
Mm,
Bye.
he- Bye. And he hangs up the phone. Mm. So by this time, it's probably around midnight. You've got 4 or 5 hours till sunrise.
Well, now that I know Mars is okay, I think I'll try to look through the cookbooks again, see if I can't piece something together.
Okay. Oh, give me another craft roll then, and we'll see.
Oh shit!
What? What?
That's 2 1s.
Okay. Any successes at all?
No, got a 6 and 2 1.
You just really can't concentrate on this.
Not tonight, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, because I've got a
Well,
few days, I'll try again tomorrow night.
well, yeah, your head's all messed up by Magnus now. It's like you're thinking about the phone call, can't come up with a recipe. Yeah. And after you put your cookbooks away, you get a text on your phone.
Hey, who's this one from?
And it's from Mr. Chef Groupie.
Ugh, him again.
It's very short. It says, check the TV.
Oh, all right. So after I send that off to Janice, I'll turn on the TV, presumably to the new. Well, that's what channel it's on anyway. So
Yeah.
turn it on.
You see, and this is live coverage. You see 3 werewolves in the street. You're not sure where, but you see one of them literally pick up a police car and throw it.
Jeez.
And the police that are there scatter.
What else are you gonna do? I mean,
Uh, and and the mayor gets on the phone or gets one of
holding the
the,
camera.
yeah, says, um, see, the curfew is working. There's nobody out except the police.
So fuck the fuck the cops, man. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the cops have to be out there, they don't get the luxury of going, oh, it's a curfew, I guess we're staying home tonight.
No,
You
that's
know,
true.
so,
Oh, I know. He's reminding me it's food time. He's looking at
but
me.
but
Yeah.
the mayor looks all proud of himself about the curfew and all this. And you literally hear cops screaming behind him as they're being chased by werewolves. And-
I'm sorry, just a visual.
right. Then you get another text from your chef groupie friend and goes, apparently this is gonna be a bit more of a problem than they thought it was.
So, yeah, I'll text him back. Yeah.
And the last thing you see from the live coverage is the mayor and the reporters scatter because a werewolf comes charging straight for them, and uh, they are barely able to get out of the way. Although the picture ends there because the camera guy wasn't able to get out of the way.
So literally the last shot is.
Right, yeah. Well, no, the last shot is the werewolf grabbing the camera and ripping it out of his hands, and from there it's like, luckily you don't get to see what happens.
Right.
You do hear a slight scream and a gurgling noise from the microphone that was on the camera, but that's all. And then it reverts back to the studio, and the two anchor people are like, they look like deer in front of the headlights.
Right.
They're like,
I'm sure.
how do we even do that? Even
Right.
do this?
They can't even say back to you because he's dead.
Right? Yeah. Well, no. Uh, the camera guy's dead. The back to you reporter has run screaming. His,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
he's
Yeah.
like, I'm getting in my car and going home, but right. Yeah.
Are you kidding? He's going to the bar and getting wasted. Oh, curfew, that's right.
And the mayor, he like bolted too. He's like, I'm the mayor. I don't need to be here.
Right, he got out of there fast.
Right.
I
So,
know, it's foodie time, so we do our foodies.
well, let's take our 20-minute break at this point so you can feed the furry creature.
Yes.
But
Oh, he's sitting here staring at me.
in this case, the smaller furry creature.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have a werewolf here to feed. That would be
Well, yeah.
bad.
Well, you never actually know if you don't feed him. You don't know what'll happen at this point. So, but we're gonna take our 20-minute break and then we'll come back and see what other horrible things happen after that. Uh, so we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Vampire the Requiem Louisville episode 6. Before the break, Dee Dee was watching the news, and to put it politely, it's not good out there. Now there are multiple werewolves running around, and cops are screaming and running away, and the mayor's screaming and running away, and the poor news camera guy didn't get a chance to run away, and yeah, it's just not good out there. So after Dee Dee's second attempt at finding a recipe and not being able to come up with one, and after seeing what just happened on the news, what is she doing?
Well, I guess I'll just get on my computer, scroll on Facebook and whatever.
Is there anything particular you're looking for, or you just
Oh, well, I'll check out the cooking groups I'm in, of course.
okay. Give me a wits and intelligence roll.
Yeah, that is 2 successes.
Uh, you see a post in the largest group that you're in, and it says that it's from one of the mods in the group, and they say that three three out of the 9 people killed in the college campus attack were members of this group, and that they're setting up a GoFundMe account for the 3 funerals that have to happen. And then most of the posts other than that are like stuff like don't go out without your phone and be extremely careful, and there's a couple of them bitching about the curfew.
I think I found the vampires in the group.
and one of them's talking about watching the news broadcast that you just saw, and was like, he's talking about how big of a coward the mayor is, and because the mayor ran off screaming, and how the police ran off screaming, and what a
Well, I
one.
mean, honestly, though, and I'm actually going to take this, I'm like, honestly, what would you do if you were being chased by a werewolf? Wouldn't you run off screaming?
He's like, yeah, but I'm a college student. I don't have a gun on me, and
Oh, that's a fair point.
well, and they don't know that your regular ammunition isn't gonna do anything anyway.
Right. Well, that's also a fair point, because, yeah, unless you got some silver bullets in that thing, it's not going to do a whole lot.
Cause
Except piss the werewolf off.
yeah, it would make him tear you apart more than he normally would if he got love you. Uh, Plus, you got to remember, most of these people are still thinking about this in terms of how it works in the movies and shit. So,
Well, yeah, and then there's the ones that are in total denial about what it actually is, and they're not even using the word werewolf.
right, which are the cops and the mayor, all the people that have the power to actually do something about this, albeit very little. But, you so you scroll through Facebook, and yeah, actually, have you ever attempted to pull recipes off any of your cooking groups in Facebook?
Well, I've scrolled through them, but none of them looked like, the sort of stuff I'd normally make. So, I mean, yeah, occasionally I'll scroll through them and look.
Well, considering you're having serious trouble with your cookbooks, this might be a good night to do that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at what there is.
So, give me another wits and intelligence roll to see if you can find one that you like.
Before you had me doing a crafts roll.
Oh, okay. That works too.
Okay, well, that actually I got one success.
You are able to find a recipe that works. It is up to you to decide what that recipe is.
I'll let you know next time I do the one with the show.
Which will be
next
next time.
vampire.
If the curfew's still going, you're gonna have a problem getting to the corner market to get your ingredients. While you're writing down this recipe, you get a text from, actually it's from Marcie. And it says, after arriving here, I found out things were worse than I had thought.
Oh, shush.
I may be down here longer than I had hoped to be. My grandfather has suddenly taken ill, which is strange because he's a vampire.
Yeah, that's not usual.
So I will keep you up to date, but
Jeez.
currently I don't really have a timeline of, as to when I'm coming back. If it runs close to the time, if it runs close to the time that you need to do another episode, I will walk you through it. The tech part's not all that much.
Or I'll text her back and say, or do you know any other kindred that are good with tech that could help me out while you're gone? Give me a name and number if you do.
I'll check into that. And what would that be? Did you put anything in the computers on your character?
Yes. I did.
So after you're done texting, Marcie, actually give me a socialized roll.
A socialize? That's a success.
You think about it for a second, and you're like, you know what? Hanley would probably know somebody that could do that.
That's true.
So if you would like to, you can get a hold of him and
Yeah, I'll text him. I'll ask him if he has the name and number of a tacky vampire that can help me out with my show in the next couple days because Marcie's out of town and a family emergency.
and uh, you get a text back. Busy right now, can't talk, but here's a name and a number, and um, I hope whatever's going on with Marcie is not major. And
Okay, so I'll thank him and we'll take a look at the number. I guess I'll. Well, actually, I'm not gonna call it yet because, as far as I don't know. Marcie's not gonna be back, so I'll wait to find out if she's gonna be back or not
right.
before I give him a call.
So you now you have your recipe for next time, and you have a possible backup tech vampire for next time. Um, so it's still at this point like 3 in the morning. You've still got a couple hours still sunlight. So what do you want to do?
I was gonna say I could go for a walk, but with the curfew out, I can't. So,
There wouldn't be anybody else out anyways.
well, I mean, just to get some exercise.
Well, yeah, that's true. You think to yourself when Marcie gets back, you guys have to think about getting workout equipment.
Oh well, maybe maybe I'll go online and start looking at stuff like that. Just
you you do that. How many dots do you have in computer?
to
So you are easily able to do that, and you end up looking at like treadmills and weight weightlifting benches and all manner of that type of equipment. Do you think that you have enough space to put that sort of stuff in your house?
well, we'd have to move some stuff around, but we could probably make room for it.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. You don't know how long this werewolf thing's gonna last.
Right. Yeah, the whole getting to the store to get my ingredients thing might be a little bit of an issue, though. Unless, well, actually, I'm on pretty good terms with most of the people that work there. Maybe I could work out a, delivery deal with.
That could be. In fact, you generally go there at night, so they would be open, so you could call them and ask them about that. You you could say, because of the curfew.
Right, and since they're, working at night, they've got license to be out and about. So
Yeah.
if they could do, yeah, and that would help fix the problem for the however long the curfew's in place.
So you gonna call them tonight? You gonna wait or what?
I'll give them a call tonight just to see if I can set something up. I mean, like I said, I am a valued customer.
Well, you call them and this middle-aged male voice and answers like, "Hello, uh, welcome to Rodney's Corner Market. Uh, I'm Harold, the shift manager. What can I do for you?"
Oh, hi, Harold. I shop in your market all the time. I know quite a few of your cashiers. My name is Dee Dee. I've got a YouTube show, cooking show I do. So I'm in there all the time buying stuff.
Well, I don't think we've met, but I've heard them talking about it.
Right. Anyway, my question, and this is, purely theoretical, but because of this curfew that the mayor put in place, it's pretty problematic because I can't really get out during the day, like at all. So I was wondering if you could have someone, like I could place an order over the phone and I could have someone run me out some groceries sometime during the whole curfew thing.
He thinks for a second. Actually, we're probably going to do that for some of our uh, elderly clients in the neighborhood that uh, can't as easily get out. And then with this curfew on top of it, it makes it really hard for them. So,
Well, that's true. And also, then it's probably not so much of a thing to bring me stuff because I'm in the complex, the seniors complex here. So
yeah. Yeah. Um, I can just add you to. Uh, I'm making a delivery list of the people who want it because they've been calling me all day. Well, all evening since the mayor did this. It's ridiculous. He's got people freaking out over all of this crap.
well, I mean, people are getting killed, but yeah.
Yeah, but there doesn't seem to be a like day or night thing. Mm,
No, that's the thing. And doesn't I don't think this curfew is going to make one bit of difference, honestly.
mm. Nah, there'll still be attacks during the day. There already have been.
There, yeah, already have been exactly.
Um, I'm sure you saw our wonderful mayor run for the hills tonight.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, his
Mm.
heels were on fire.
Well, I don't think I'll be voting for him in the next election.
I'm pretty sure no one on the police force is going to be. I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah, you just call when, actually he said, give me 1 second. And then he comes back and says, okay, you're on our delivery list now. Uh, just call in when you want to order something. And first order, we will need debit card or credit card info.
Oh, well, that's not a problem.
But yeah, just call in when you need an order and I'm going to set it up where we can try and get it to people the same day. But you might call us a couple of days ahead just in case we get really busy.
I can do that. And thank you very much.
Oh, not a problem. And hopefully, when the mayor decides how silly this curfew is, we'll see you in the store again.
Hopefully, that's what I hope is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a feeling tomorrow we might see a rather furry creature and the mayor having a face-to-face meeting.
I
Or,
don't think that would work out too well for the mayor.
or at least we can hope anyway. Yeah. You have a good rest of your night.
You too.
Bye-bye. So you got that all set up. Mm. By this time, you can see the sky getting a slight bit lighter. Not quite sunrise yet, but it looks like it's trying to get there.
I guess it's time to turn in then.
And so you go into your bedroom and you're getting ready for bed and there's another text on your phone. And it's your from your favorite number. And it says, I hope Marcie's okay. Not like her to go off like this. Uh,
So we'll just text back a family emergency. She's all right. I'm not sure when she'll be back. And I'm actually not sure why I'm telling him all this because, like, he's a stalker and a creep. But
well, yes, but he has been helpful on an occasion. So, um, well, good to know she's okay. Hmm. And then you get this pause and goes, hmm, wonder if you and I should have a meeting.
about what?
Uh, You're always asking me why I'm, you know, quote, harassing you in your terms. maybe we should get together and I'll let you know. Now that you're gonna be by yourself for at least a few days anyway.
And well, I'll text back okay with a question mark. And I'm definitely sending all this shit to Janice.
Mm. Well, as you might guess, I'm always around. I'll text you back tomorrow. See if we can set up a good time to have a little chat, if nothing else.
No, I text back, I'd suggest we go hunting, but we have that whole curfew mess to deal with. So we can't be doing that for a while.
Oh, actually, I have ways to get around the entire city if I need to. If you would like to go hunting with me, I can show you how I get around the city.
Right, well, you've got me intrigued now.
Uh, you forget vampires don't breathe.
I haven't forgotten that. I am one. I don't breathe. What you talking? You get around underwater and shit.
Sewer system. Mm.
Vampires do have olfactory senses, though. People can
Uh,
smell each other.
well, we smell vampire blood.
Okay.
It's not really a smell. You can just sense it when another vampire walks into the room. Yeah. Because if it was this actual scent thing, vampires would be going around sniffing each other out.
Well, dogs do it, so.
Well, yeah. But,
Oh god, I just gave myself another visual.
yeah, don't do that. So, and and he goes, if you're brave enough to go hunting with me, let's do it.
Sounds like a plan.
Uh, Um, I'll check my schedule and give you a text tomorrow and see what we can set up. Oh, and just in case you're thinking of trying anything interesting, I wouldn't advise it.
I wasn't.
Uh,
Same goes for you, by the way.
oh, I'm too interested in doing this to mess it up. Interesting suggestion you made. I would have never thought about it.
I mean, I enjoy a hunt every once in a while. It's been a while.
And even though and he says this, even though the blood bank blood is real blood, it doesn't taste anywhere near as good as a fresh hunt
Oh,
does.
No, not at all. I think it's mainly because it's not as warm. When it comes right out of the arteries, it's nice, and the veins, it's nice and warm.
Yeah, it is sad that we have to conform to society, as it were.
Well, I don't really want to stay driven through my heart, so I guess conforming's the way to avoid that.
What, haven't you seen the old movies with the pitchforks and the torches?
Well, I don't really want that either.
So, yeah. So he goes, well, this has been interesting and a bit of a surprise. You have a good sleep, and I will text you tomorrow evening.
All right, I'll talk to
Uh,
you then.
And God knows what will have happened on the news by then anyway. So we'll see. And he stops. And what is, do you have a routine for before you go to bed for the day, or is it?
Oh, just the normal things humans do, get into the night clothes, brush the fangs. Well, I mean, they're not fangs when you're a human, but, give your
Right.
fangs a good brush it's still important to look after your teeth, even if they're pointy.
Hmm. And you you lay down with several things going through your head between what's going on with Marcie and her family and this hunt you set up with this guy and uh, your your latest recipe you're gonna try, and overarching all of it, you're hoping this werewolf thing doesn't get any worse than it is. And your last thought is, before you drift off for the day, is of Magnus and whether it wouldn't be a bad idea to head to New Orleans for a while, especially now that you don't really know when Marcie's coming back.
Right.
You just have to get past this hunt you're going on, and then after that, because you could do your show, and it's 4 days in between. You could do your show and then head to New Orleans and get there before your next show happens.
Right.
So, so as you're drifting off to sleep, you're going over all these things in your head.
Yes.
And about But give me a wits and intelligence roll.
It's one success.
You are awakened by a large noise that sounds like it's coming from right outside your front door. And you turn your head, and it's about 8 in the morning.
Well, there was nothing I can do about it. That now, I'm not opening the door, that's for damn sure.
Okay. Well,
A little too bright and, sunshiny out there for me right now.
you will have to see if you can figure out what happened when night comes. You just know that there's there was a very loud noise right outside your door. And so you managed to get back to sleep. And then sooner than you were hoping, your sunset alarm goes off. And so what do?
Well, I guess like usual, I'll go down and have a cup of blood and
You have a cup of blood, or you pour yourself a cup of blood, and you realize that that's the last of your blood type. So sometime tonight, you're gonna have to find a way to get more. Or, who knows, you could see if you could arrange this hunt for tonight, and then you wouldn't have to worry at least about tonight anyway.
right.
So you're sipping on your cup of blood, scrolling through your phone. Um, you see a picture of a SWAT tank that the police have begun to employ in an effort to stem these werewolf attacks. You're not really sure whether it'll work or not, but it's all they got. So, um, and then you see a video from the mayor's office talking about, how they're going to do everything possible to stop this problem. And yeah, they're calling in the government. They're going to be like, we're, filing for a state of emergency so we can get government funding to help us out and possibly call in the military if necessary, and he's looking very proud and very, yeah, in your face. And then you see a video taken by one of the people that you recognize from the neighborhood. And oddly enough, it looks like they're taking a video of your door.
Oh, that's strange. I wonder if that had anything to do with that noise this morning. So I guess after I finish my blood, I'll go open the front door and see if there's anything out there.
And then you walk to the door, you open the door, and see. Give me a constitution check. Hold it.
Resolve
Uh,
or stamina or
actually,
composure.
uh, give me a stamina and composure roll. Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay? Actually, that's not as bad as I thought. I thought it was a total botch, but I got a 9 and a 1, and I got a 9 and 2 1s and a 3. So it's not a complete botch. It's just
Failure.
yeah,
As long as you get one success,
yeah.
you can't botch. But you open the door and what you see, you didn't think vampires could vomit,
Well, sure I did. We do that if we eat real food. So
but the blood you just drank comes right back up. Because what you see is this elderly man who you saw in the video a few minutes earlier laying on your front porch, still holding the video. Well, he took it with his phone, like everybody does. So he's still holding the phone, but his torso from the shoulders down is shredded. And then you turn to look at your front door, and there are deep claw marks from about the middle of the door down, where what your best guess is the old man got pinned against your door and just shredded and then fell onto your porch as the werewolf took off.
I'm gonna call Corvus and tell him I've got a werewolf victim, half of a werewolf victim lying on my porch, and that it would be kind of nice if someone could come and get rid of that.
And you are able to get a hold of him. And he's like, oh crap, this is not good. But I will send a cleanup crew as quickly as possible. Do you tell him that it looks like the man took the video with his phone?
Yeah.
He says, grab the guy's phone. We're gonna want to see what's on it.
So I'll do that because, I'm not too worried about leaving fingerprints because I don't have any.
Right. There is quite a bit of blood on your porch. So, yeah. And you step back into the house and close what's left of your door. It is still standing, however. It's just got large claw marks. And as you do that, you realize that this has suddenly got very close to home. In fact, had you risked, getting up at 8 a.m., you may have actually seen this happen, which you going outside wouldn't have been a good thing, no matter if there'd been not been sun, because you couldn't have saved this old man, no matter what. And I think that's where we're gonna end for tonight,
Okay.
because this is about to get seriously messy for Dee Dee. So, did you have fun?
Yes.
And I hope the people watching had just as much fun as we did making it. And it should be up
We're just thinking.
on the channel in the next 48 hours or so. If you like what we do here and you enjoy the games, like, subscribe, and if you're more of a podcast type, this podcast is on Anchor, Spotify, Podbean, Apple, iHeart. We're pretty much everywhere, and we're even in 5 countries other than this one. So, yeah, if you like podcasts, you can find us. And we'll be back next week with fallen dragons, and um, I'm working on an Easter Cthulhu episode, so look forward for that one. Buy all of Robin's books. The links are in the description. She's a starving writer, so help her not be starving anymore. Uh, and I think that's all I've got, unless you've got something.
I think that's it. See you next time.
Yep. So join us next week for Fallen Dragons and see what kind of trouble they get into. So with that, we'll say good night.
Good night.